the journey in kickboxing as a female in Europe wasn't easy, right? I mean, you certainly had a lot of perspectives on how you should fight, what you should weigh, how you should go about everything, and right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Or
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think I talk a lot about this also, right? My path was a super hard one until now. People say now, oh, you're one of the best in the world, and you know so many people, you travel the world, you teach seminars all over the world. I'm like, you don't understand how tough that road was, right? I came from a city, Hamburg, from Germany, right? That's where I started, and the guys were like, they were just they were just not very open to have a woman. They didn't care, right? They were like always testing me that I'm physically not enough, I'm emotionally not, I'm mentally not tough enough, right? They constantly tested me. And so part of why I had later a little bit of mental struggles as a fighter was from the beginnings, right? Because for the first years, I was in a very toxic environment, a very aggressive environment to me as a female. And this is something when you start early and that's your first experience, it programs you. Right. So I had a bit of issues with, like, I felt like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do the sport, maybe towards the end. Right. Especially when you lose a fight, you immediately start questioning that. And that it was tough. I had to always show I'm 10 times better than them. Yeah. Right. When I said in the past, when I said to those guys that I want to be a fighter, they laughed. Right. Then I became a fighter and I started doing well, and they were like, okay. Then I said I want to be a professional fighter. They laughed. They're like, that's ridiculous. Do something else. They told me many times, find a husband, make some kids. Like, what the heck, right? What the heck do you want to hear? Then I went out to different countries because it was good, actually, guys, because it made me get out of the country, right? I went to the Netherlands. I went to Canada. I went to the US, right? I looked for people who can teach me more, who have a similar mindset, and I support still people. I connect people all over the world all the time. The athletes I coach, right, they're all from, I don't know, 20 different countries, right? And they come together here in Poland or in different countries we train together because they always told me, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it made me tougher, but in that moment it was not easy. And especially then when I wanted to become a coach, look, at the beginning, people said, yeah, you can teach whatever you want to teach, but we're not paying you for this. So I said, like, no problem, I do it. And there was so many guys, they said, oh, you can swipe the mats after, okay? I'm like, oh, all right, I swipe the mats after. Well, it doesn't matter. You have to, right? You just have to understand that people will not open the door, right? You have to kick them open with a strong high kick, front kick, and then that's it, right? And you step in and you just keep going, right? I do it, like I said, over 20 years now. So, but it was tough. And sometimes I'm now back in Poland. I was all over the place. I was everywhere, right, in the world. And I came back to Poland and it's tough because people here are still quite narrow-minded, I would say, when it comes to, they don't have really a female coach on that level here.
Right. Well, that's why eventually we're bringing you to the good old USA, where we have it's wonderful to see how much trust has been put in you on every side of the aisle as a mental performance coach. Everyone, just so you know, some of the top fighters in the world right now are using Daria largely in mental performance, but also I know she occasionally contributes a little bit on the skill side too.